I'm often accused of being too negative, and you know what? That's fair. I try my best to make positive videos, and even in videos where I'm complaining, I try and give credit where credit is due and praise things I love while bashing things I hate. But I'm not about to sit here and gaslight you all and pretend like I don't use negativity as a catalyst for content. After all, you guys need to remember I'm a comedian, an observational and storytelling comedian, and part of my comedy is rant based. I grew up on things like Foamy the Squirrel, Nostalgia Critic, and Zero Punctuation. I wanted to become a comedian because of Ron White and George Carlin. I won't pretend for even single solitary second that angry ramblings aren't a basis for my comedic style. But you fuckers have absolutely no room to talk. One only needs to look at my numbers and see that when I do positive content, it doesn't perform nearly as well as my negative content. Similarly, if you look across YouTube, Baby Gets Punched and Then Set on Fire is going to get way more clicks than Baby Laughs. This is because, for whatever reason, humans are innately drawn to negativity. It's the reason traffic slows down during a car accident on the other side of the fucking highway, or why true crime is such a popular genre of podcasts. Negativity and bad things drive human curiosity. This is the basis for negativity bias, a philosophical idea that humans are predispositioned to negative things. However, when you use negativity bias to refer to gaming community, for example, it means that no matter how much good is happening, that community will ignore it or make up reasons for why it's not actually a good thing. Do you guys remember the mid-chapter patch for Skull Merchant? It came with some nerfs to medkits, a few survivor perks, a few killer perks, and a big one that had everyone baffled. Hillbilly got his engravings nerfed. This was such a confusing time to basically all of us. Why on Sithis Red Earth would you nerf Billy at all? Arguably one of the worst killers in the game due to his stupid high skill floor. I made an entire video on Billy, so I won't break down his weaknesses here, but the point that I need to make is that the engravings did not need nerfed, and no one asked for that. So why were they getting nerfed? Well, because statistics told Behavior that the engravings were overused, and of course they were. They are arguably his best add-on for Billy players that know what the fuck they're doing, which isn't a lot, but in percentage of Billy players that exist, they make up a large portion of Billy players. Thus, in the view of Behavior, the overuse of the only decent add-ons for Billy meant that the add-ons needed the nerf. After much public outcry, Behavior went all May from Overwatch on us, sorry, and reverted the nerfs before the PTB patch went live, which is great. I'm glad Behavior even has a PTB for testing new patches. Should honestly be a trend for every live service game, along with having a permanent shop that doesn't needlessly lock out purchasable content behind arbitrary time windows. Overwatch, Valorant, and Fortnite. But the point is that it was a good thing that Behavior listened to us, and I said as much in my patch note update video following that. And oh my god, the insane amount of people on that video and in my Twitch chat who would spout off tinfoil hat-ass conspiracy theories. Behavior was gonna revert the nerf from the get-go. They just wanted to pretend like they listened to us. They hate us all and want to act like they are the good guys. Like the devs were all sitting around some oblong table in a dark room getting blowies from their respective secretaries, smoking expensive cigars and sinisterly laughing as they concocted this evil plan to try to be more likable. And look, I get it. Some game companies do come off as a bit sketchy, like Respawn. They have a nasty habit of overbuffing a legend that's about to get an heirloom and then turn around and nerfing once everyone has gotten the opportunity to pay a fifth of a month's rent for the fucking thing. And what's going on there is obvious, mostly because it's EA, but we have no reason to think that the Billy nerf thing was anything short of the devs just not understanding how to balance properly. And that's not a dig at the devs, by the way. Most game developers have this issue. They look at statistics like win rate, usage, and the like to inform their balancing decisions. The problem with that is just because something may be performing well or may be underperforming statistically, it doesn't mean it's unhealthy for the game or that the player base wants it changed. Like the Billy example above, nobody had a problem with Billy and his engravings. And yeah, you know what? I get it. Game balance is hard. You're never going to please everybody, and you have to have a healthy balance between statistics and listening to the player base. But no matter what you do, someone's going to be pissed. Which brings me to the second example of negativity bias in this community, and it's how they view Behavior's treatment of their role. I made an entire video around the idea that Behavior doesn't favor any role, and instead, the game is actually fairly balanced, with both sides having bullshit strengths and weaknesses. That video went over about as well as you expect, with many people proclaiming that if you just look at the patch notes and see how Behavior only nerfs insert role here, then I'd clearly see Behavior only likes insert opposite role here. And that's the crux of the issue, isn't it? Both sides only see the negative changes to their role, not the positive changes or the negative that happens to the opposite role. Since I've been playing, most patches have had plenty balanced splits of nerfs and buffs, and I'm not saying behavior is perfect, but they for sure aren't cartoon villaining their way through your favorite role in an attempt to sabotage it. This community has such a focus on the negatives of every update, the good that comes with it is often pushed to the side, and it's a wonder the devs ever communicate with us at all. I mentioned roughly 2 paragraphs ago that the game balance is hard because you have to have a healthy balance of statistics and listening to your player base, but I wouldn't listen to you fucks either, the way some of you treat every nerf to your role with the same reaction you'd have if someone murdered one of your loved ones. Death threats, insults, telling people to kill themselves, it's insanity. And before anyone attempts to point it out, yes, I get the irony of only talking about the bad parts of this community most of the time while not acknowledging the good. And you know what? There is some good. This community is helping my dreams of being an entertainer come true, with every video gaining more and more subscribers, more views, and more love. We just got our first channel member, which was fucking exciting as hell to me. It was this community that rallied behind me when someone clipped me out of context and attempted to bully me. I've found many friends and loved ones in this community, and I'll continue to love it for that. But that doesn't change the fact that a loud portion, whether that portion is large or small, it is loud, acts like fucking assholes when it comes to dev treatment of this game, constantly tossing aside any good things that happen in favor of being little misbehaving children. And you know what? At the end of the day, maybe talking about this won't change anything. Maybe any of those people who watch this will do what they always do, pitch a fit in my comment section, to which they will be swiftly banned, and then we will all move on to the next topic of discussion. But if even one person does some fucking self-reflection and changes their ways, I'd be happy. Well, I'd also be happy with being pegged, but that's beside the point.